My earliest years of when the neglect from my mother really started was at the age of 12, when things begun to go downhill for us with our family. We couldn't keep a house over our head. Times we couldn't really afford to eat, and there's times my mother would have her manic episodes because she's diagnosed bipolar. At that point in time, I really started to go through the physical abuse and the emotional abuse that she put me through due to her illness. One of the worst episodes I ever went through with my mom and her bipolar disorder was when me and my brother got into an argument and she came home and she physically attacked me, and I didn't really know who that person was. When I looked in her eyes, I didn't see my mom. I I had no hope in her. I felt like I did something wrong. I felt ashamed. I felt like nothing. I began doing self-harm at 12, cutting, burning, ingesting a lot of Motrin to try and overdose. Um, Me times I'd try and hang myself in my room. I was removed from my home due to the fact that my mother tried to stab me and my brother for the second time. My first time I went to a foster home was 3 days after I was officially entered into the foster care system. I ended up not lasting long in these foster homes, usually because of my mental status. I was always depressed and I didn't want to be around the other children, and some of the parents just couldn't deal with it. So they just passed me on. And eventually I felt like they kind of gave up on me. From the therapeutic foster home, I wasn't getting any better. I was actually becoming more set in my ways of how I was acting with the self-harm and the depression. I didn't feel like there's a need for me to try to get better. But that was how it was going to be. Being in the foster homes I was in, I felt they didn't care about me personally. They didn't care about my goals, my life potentials. They didn't care about my talents. They didn't care about what I could offer to the world. I was Baker acted a few more times. Baker acted meaning I was involuntarily placed into a mental facility. I stayed in the Baker Act for about 2 weeks, and then they sent me to level 4 hospital setting, which is lockdown facility. Upon hearing that I was going to another group home, I wasn't really ecstatic because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to another place where people are paid to care about me.
When Darian came into HomeSafe, she was very depressed and suicidal and cut and several things like that.
I wasn't really very open to HomeSafe at all. I was very closed-minded. I had a thought pattern of and a plan of just, okay, we're going to come in here, do these last 6 months for 18 and go. You have to change, fake it till you make it, do what you gotta do.
When Darian came into HomeSafe, she was a little resistant on the school piece of things.
So coming to HomeSafe, I had a GPA of 0.7. My grades were horrible.
We did enroll her in Lake Worth High School. After going to Lake Worth High School and getting into that routine of going to school every day, she built her confidence up by getting good marks in school. She also was doing after-school activities, and we made it possible for her to go to prom.
I let the HomeSafe staff in because after being told no so many times and after being let down so many times, that's the worst thing that can ever happen. You can't get any lower than where I was already at. I feel I can only go up. But it all changed, and it happened slowly, but with a lot of work. I ended up doing a lot of online schooling and doing all these extra classes to meet the standard credits that you need to graduate. And with the help of all the staff here, I was able to graduate high school in May on time. as I started to see consistency, it impacted me on the point of I have hope. Like there's hope for me.
Darren, you have come from nothing, and to me, you're everything. You have taught me just as much as I have taught you, and for that, I am very grateful to you. I wish you much success. And I'm sitting here talking to you, telling you this, not like I'm not going to be by your side, because I will always be by your side. I am just a phone call away. I am not, I was your staff. Now I become your friend, and I consider you family. And I love you very much, and I am so very proud of you.